This time in the Mimics Fail, we say hello to our newest patron, Laurie. Hello, Laurie. We also talk about Entropy Survivors, Yakuza 0, Arctic Eggs, and we start off with a juicy bit of Diablo IV. I've been playing Diablo IV, which I know in the past I've heard people talk about it before, and I have automatically gone to my default reaction to whenever I hear someone talking about a game that they like. I just kind of go, well, I bet it's shite. Like, that's my default. That's the base level.
How much do you hate reaction? You've got some sort of Stockholm syndrome with this podcast. It's like, that's all this is. It's just, fucking shut up with your fucking enthusiasm.
No enthusiasm. But for some reason, I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Give it a wee look-see and see what's going on. And,
why?
I'm quite enjoying... Why?
Why?
I'm just at a point at the moment where I'm not really... Games aren't sticking with me. I'm trying just lots of different things. Nothing's really keeping my attention for very long. So I was like, why not add Diablo 4 to this list? And you know what? I've come on to the negatives. But I am enjoying it. I think I mentioned to you guys before. It sort of reminds me of games that not that I used to play, but games from yesteryear or something like that. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe like Dragon Age, like one of the first Dragon Age games, even though it's like totally different. I can't quite put my finger on it, but the way that it looks reminds me of something that I can't quite put my finger on. But you know what? I kind of rushed into it. I was like, I'm not going to pore over how my character looks. I'm not going to be bothered about the class of character. So I've got the first one, the sort of, I think it's relatively new as part of like the DLC, whatever that character is. I don't know. He waves a big staff about. Right. And I was like, I'm just going to have a little shot. And that was it. And I'm enjoying it. And it's good. Like how you just sort of mow through enemies. Because it is a bit button mashy, I can kind of see myself getting a bit fed up.
Yeah.
But for the time being, it's scratching an itch.
You said button mashy there. And it reminded me of when I first played Diablo 3 on the Switch. And I'd never played a Diablo game before. And I was literally mashing the buttons. I didn't realise you could just hold them down.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. And it just does the same thing, like almost like a turbo button that just does the attack over and over again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to hear that awful Xbox clicking.
Well, that was the thing. Yeah. I've actually tried it on both. So I've been playing it mainly on the PS5, but I've also downloaded it on Xbox. I was like, I'll see what crossplay is like because I've never been that. I don't think I've ever played a game that has had crossplay.
Right.
Or I've never been that fussed. I was like, okay, I'll play it on PS5. Let me just save everything, or like wait until the game saves, and then I'll close it out and I'll jump back and I'll go on the Xbox. And I was like, oh man, this is the same guy.
Mad.
The same guy. I called him Grollop, which is my character name from Elden Ring.
Grollop.
Right,
like trollop with a G.
Yeah. That's not how I thought about it.
It will be now.
Good name.
Grollop. Yeah, that's amazing.
What do you think of the opening cutscene?
Very good.
Really good, isn't it?
Very, very good.
Pulls you right in.
It does indeed. Yeah. It's cool. Like I said, there are a few things that I find quite annoying. In that I have left the game, so like quit out to the menu to do something or to try something out or to see how saves worked. It's like, it won't let me save. When was it doesn't from memory? It doesn't tell you when you last saved the game. I'll leave the game, go back in, and see if it just brings me back to where I left. And it doesn't. It puts you like back to the start of the dungeon.
Oh, right, okay.
Which I think's strange.
Is that because it's like a live world or whatever it is?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like
that's the confusing aspect of the whole experience, I think.
Yeah, I sort of like I'd pushed like down or whatever it is to open up a portal, and then I was in amongst all these other people. I was like, I don't want to be in anything with others. I just want to be my own.
Yeah.
Like, why do I need to? And they were like, hello, or like
emoting at you.
Yes, I was like, just leave me alone.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah,
I don't talk to people.
Dad, we don't want to talk to anybody. And then it was like, I was left the town. It was like, oh, you're going to lose your portal. I was like, fucking good. Does that mean all these fucking chumps are going to go as well? And they did. I think that's the main thing. Also, though, I'm a stickler for a menu, and the menu in this is fucking atrocious.
Is it? I don't remember.
I was like, where are the quests? I just want to go on a quest.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
And it was like the map, and then a slither on the right hand side, something like sticking out. You like push like right on the D-pad, and the quest log will come up. That's hidden. That is hidden away.
Yeah, there's a few things like that. I think the whole inventory management, like having to dump all your stuff, you just pick it because you pick up everything, right?
Yep.
That's in front of you, and then you soon run out of space for it. It's like,
Yep.
I find that really frustrating. Now I need to go back to town to sell this or put it in my cupboard or whatever, and it's like.
What I'd noticed was that there's no. If you pick something up, what I've been doing is like almost instantly go in and does it give me better protection? Is it a more powerful weapon? And you pick up stuff so often that it starts to sort of hold you up a little bit. Like, oh, it's new armor. Oh, what's the armor like? Oh, it's like -1. It's not as good, but it might have other like aspects to it that are worthwhile. I don't know. Like I said, it's good. I'm sort of just going to mainline for the foreseeable anyway until I inevitably drop it.
Yeah.
Just the main sort of campaign. I don't think it takes too long to get through. Like maybe 15 hours or something. I'd heard.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Which is okay. I can stomach a 15-hour game. Really looking forward to just holding down X.
Yeah, well, that's a game changer.
Whatever people want to call it.
Unless that's just is that all character types, Alex?
I think so. Yeah, I think the attack is you can just hold down the button for the attack.
Because there's other attacks mapped to different buttons, but you need vigor or whatever it is.
Yeah,
this is my first Diablo game. I've never played any of them before.
Yeah, like is that the equivalent of like your mana, or your magic, basically? Yeah,
mana. Yeah.
Mana.
But it's cool. Like
it is cool.
I could quickly when I sort of quickly started the game, but then at the first opportunity when I realised I could do it, I found like it was in a tavern or something. I could change my appearance. I was like, well, this guy looks like a gimp, so I'm going to change how he looks. So I've done it now, but yeah.
I imagine Grollop to look like a gimp.
Yeah.
Grollop. Grollop. I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, Lewis, but it's a multiplayer game that Alex and I have both. We've dabbled in, and we'd be.
How long have you played it for?
I think we're about halfway through the campaign, aren't we?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Why did you stop?
You couldn't find the time to fit each other in bed, could you?
No.
I think that was it, because we had only really played it together.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to play it 3-player, definitely. But we still
Someone
need
else
to
bought it and wanted to play. We didn't want to play with them.
Maybe that does sound about right as well. We still need to play Dead Island 2, though, don't we? Bit more of that.
We do.
A bit more
Do an episode on that. But that's
cool.
Go on.
Sorry, you try to segue out there.
No. No.
There's a lot of it that feels like a live service game. In that you can feel the World of Warcraft sort of template hovering over the top of you. And it's like, I'm not sure I like it, that bit of it. I just want a one player, like a single player experience. I don't have to deal with anyone else.
I know what you mean.
Present company excluded.
Well, we'll see. But like stuff like seasons and things like that. I'm like,
Yes.
I don't want.
like we
Is
play
there a
the
way
game.
to just block that from my view? That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Actually, I very briefly played F1 2023 or 2024, and for the life of me, I cannot see if there's like an exhibition mode. It's like go into the career, or you need to go to F1 World and unlock stuff. I'm like, no, I just want to go pick Silverstone, pick a driver and drive. I don't want to have to fucking faff about with upgrading my engine. I don't want to have to become a character. I just want to have a race. I don't want to fanny about all this shit.
Yeah, but that's what games have become, isn't it? Like these big games. Like that's what FIFA is now. But growing up, FIFA was just that's all you did was play maybe like season mode, and you try and win, the Premier League or whatever. But yeah, now it's all live service. I think that's all people really do in it.
Rubbish.
Blech.
Yuck.
Yuck. If I may segue out of Diablo 4 now.
We've stopped talking about it though.
Have we? Well,
No,
it's not a segue. It's no like neat transition. I'll just start talking about something else.
I think I was going to say Diablo 4, kind of like.
Speaking of first-party Xbox games, there we go. That'll do. I've been playing a bit of Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the ultimate first-party game. And yes, took the boys to the Science Museum in London to their Power Up exhibition. So it's like it's there permanently all year round, and basically like the history of video games, and you can just play everything. And slap bang in the middle of that room is like a 15, 16 player circle of
Like a LAN party.
Basically a LAN party of Xbox 360s with Halo 3. And so we just sat there playing that, me and the two boys. And it was brilliant. It was like the highlight of the time we spent there. And we just stayed on there for ages and just killing each other. And I think
that sounds good.
It was good because it was like, obviously they both play Fortnite, and obviously they're way better than I am, but I was better than them at Halo, a game I'd played loads of back in the day. So it was like I was getting onto the top, pulling the little turret off, just walking around with this, just mowing everyone down. It was amazing. Really good fun. And so that kind of spurred this interest in Halo, and I had the Master Chief Collection on Steam Deck anyway, so I fired that up and decided to play through Halo 1 Combat Evolved. I didn't play through it all. I just did like the first 2 or 3 missions. I think there's like 10 missions maybe in it, and it was good. It was good. It was like, it's obviously quite simple compared to like Halo Infinite, but charming nonetheless. Slick, runs really well on Steam Deck.
How's it controlled? Was it still fine?
I don't know if they've modernized the controls, but it just controls like a very simple first-person shooter.
When did it come out? It must be like 2005 or something.
It was launched, so what was 20 and 2019, when did is it 2021? 2001?
Yeah, maybe 2001. Yeah,
Halo 2
early
came out in
2000s.
2004. Halo 2 came out on my 20th birthday, which is 2004.
1970,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, really good. And then I've put it on my son's Steam Deck as well, and we've managed to set that up so we can play multiplayer matches on that. And that's good. Again, getting back to your Diablo point, we don't play with the public. It's just literally just me and him on one of these massive maps, just hunting each other down. Excellent. And that's been really fun. And again, just runs really well. Like, I know Halo 3's getting on a bit, but it looks great. Runs at 60 FPS, rock solid on the Steam Deck. And then, potentially, my other son could play it on the Xbox and like cross-play, so we can have a little 3-player Slayer match, which would be cool. And it's just, I don't know, it's just fun. It's just nice to play something that, because they're interested in any games like that, and obviously I don't let them play Call of Duty, obviously, but Fortnite is about the limit that I allow, and I kind of regret letting them play that as well, because it's so antithetical to what I like as a gamer. Like, it's just, and I keep catching myself going, it's just made to addict you. You're just addicted to it because that's what it's making you do. Like, this is exactly what it is. Never interested in playing anything else. So the fact that they're interested in playing Halo, I was like, right, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, it's a smart little collection. Really, I think it's like £8 at the moment on CD Keys or on the Steam store. It's like such good value for money. Those first 4 games and ODST absolutely. As well. And
is it on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Game Pass.
And I've never played through a campaign other than Halo Infinite. So, like, I never touched the single player in Halo 3. Only ever played multiplayer. So, it'd be quite nice to work through those campaigns.
Do you get achievements when you play it in Steam?
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite surprised. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was quite surprised because I stopped playing it and then picked up my phone and I had an Xbox notification that I'd got an achievement. So, yeah, bonus. But yeah, it's just, obviously it's Halo. You know what it is. But it's just a nice little one to pick up. And the fact that it happened organically, you know, it wasn't me going, oh, look, here's an old game you boys should enjoy. It was like, we just saw it. I think, one of the boys said, oh, I want to play that. So we did. And then we had a lovely time and haven't looked back since.
What's mad is that's, 20, if it was 2001, that's 23 or 24 years when this comes out. Back, that would take it back. Like, if you go back to 2001, whenever it launched, go back 24 years, you're into the 70s, which is scary to think of. In terms of, could you go back 91?
So if you go back 48 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't handle all this math. It's like playing Balatro.
Balatro. Actually, just as you mentioned that, I was on Blue Sky, and Keith, who's the guy that Andrew did a panel with? The Keith, what's his face? Like, the
Dreamcast guy.
Yeah.
Not Dreamcast guy, but yeah.
Yeah. He'd mentioned, I've been playing Balatro. I can't get it, or I'm struggling to get it. Is it the maths? Am I struggling to do the math? I'm not really thinking about it. And I was like, someone else is saying there's maths in Balatro.
No, yet to find it.
There's no maths.
No.
I've
continued to dip back into that though.
Yes.
I think it was after it was your fault, Lewis. In fact, there's so many things. It was you saying in Discord, which you took
doesn't count.
Patreon.com/the Two pair doesn't count as a run.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure most of mine have been 2-pair runs. So since then I've been determined to do I've done a high card run.
Oh wow, that'd be difficult.
Yeah. Done straights, done flushes, and I was like, okay, I can sleep easy now.
The only reason I say that is because I cannot finish a 2-pair run.
Really?
Yeah.
I find them the easiest.
I
that's
default
the
to
one
flush.
I've done most, I think.
Right. Because it's just an easier hand to build, I think,
Yeah.
2-pair. And then...
That's why I said it. It's too easy.
Then if you can find Uranus and power that up, then
You're on to good.
you're laughing. But yeah, God. I think that's going to be a forever game.
Yeah.
Just
It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. And again, just to plug our Patreon, we did have a little chat on our latest Chinbat episode, which is out yesterday at the time that this releases. And I talk about trying to get my dad into Balatro. So if you're interested in that and what we had for Christmas dinner and various other bits and bobs, patreon.com/themimicsfail.
£1.
£1 paltry pound.
It's absolutely nothing.
Oh, I could segue out of poultry, but I don't want to go again. So, Alex, what have you been playing this festive period?
I finished the game. Done.
What?
I finished Yakuza 0.
Ooh.
And I had the best time with this game. I loved it. So you just getting the origin stories of these two characters. I think the last time we talked about this, I literally just met Goro. That was quite early on in the game. So I think there's 17 chapters. And basically it's half Kiryu, half Goro. So there's 8 chapters in each, and then the final chapter kind of jumps between the two. Kind of 2 different endpoints, and it's so good. Such a good story, such good character development, great characters. It's nice going back to that action combat and learning all the different combat styles that they have and stuff, rather than all the turn-based of 7 and 8. Because obviously they were the only ones that I played first, but I can't wait to go and play the rest. I absolutely just want to go and start Kiwami now. And yeah, the first big game I finished on the Steam Deck.
Shit, that's huge. Have you seen the basically all the rest of them are dirt cheap on Steam at the moment as well?
Yeah, because I think we've got Kiwami and Kiwami 2 in the library already. So I can get started on those. But yeah, this is probably... I've always used the Keem deck. I can't talk. The Steam Deck for smaller games, and this is probably the one that's convinced me no, this is what I need to play these games on. It needs to be on this device. This is, and yeah, I can't believe I waited so long to play it.
Yeah, that is cool. How long did it take, do you think? Because it's not the biggest of the Yakuza
no,
games,
but I think it's still over 30 hours.
Oh, okay.
I think Steam's saying about 40, but I think that's a wee bit high. I don't think it was actually as much as that. Because Kiwami, I cannot say Kiwami. Kiwami and Kiwami 2 are shorter than 0. So 0 is a bit longer than those two, but then that's quite good kind of going into those two and getting a shorter experience for them as well. So, yeah.
So do you think you're going to... play through them sort of chronologically? No?
Probably. But then we have Pirates of Pirates of Hawaii coming in February as well. So quite looking forward to that because that's all Goro based, I think. So
I've no idea who
Goro is the one with the eye patch. You probably know.
Oh, is that what's his other name?
Majima. Goro
That's
Majima.
It. Yeah. When you say Goro, I was just thinking of the guy with 4 arms from Mortal Kombat. It's pretty sure he's not in Yakuza.
So he's the kind of main character in the Pirates one that's coming. Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to as well. But I will plan to play them all through in chronological order. I mean, I don't think I'll play 7 and 8 again. But,
no, fuck God. No.
I will try and play now 1 to 6. Not all. I I'm not going to play them all one after the other. I think I'll play one every so often because I think you could easily burn yourself out on it.
Yeah.
But maybe one every few months or something. I'll try and play one.
It's a good
And they all
I'd
just,
highly recommend it.
they're not quite random. Like there's loads of just weird.
I would say
they're
this
all
is the
like
least random one that I've played.
Okay.
There is still. This is probably the most serious.
You still have to go bowling with a chicken.
You still do. There's still random things like that, and like batting cages and random mini games for like building your own cabaret club in this, or to like have a real estate and selling real estate, or some of the side quests are really quite random, like teaching an S&M girl how to do S&M, like and how to be nasty and stuff like this. Like there's really random shit in it, like. But I would say it's far less random than like 7 and 8, and some of the things where you've got like men in diapers running, chasing people around and stuff. Like it's quite bare bones in comparison to like those games. That's unfair because there's still loads in it. It's not bare bones, but when you look at the sheer amount of stuff in like 7 and 8, it feels bare bones, but it's compared to a lot of games, it's so fleshed out.
Yeah. I love
lot
the
of
idea of like playing through a whole series like that. Like speaking of Halo, I could potentially do that. I always fancied playing through Gears of War as well, from like 1 to 5.
Yeah.
But what about you, Lewis? If you had to play through like one series that you've never played
one
before?
series. Oh my
Just
goodness.
one.
Put me on the spot, why don't you?
Final Fantasy. There you go.
That feels like an impossible task because you're not going back and playing the first Final Fantasy.
You can play the Pixel remasters. They've got some quality of life.
You and your reasoning. I don't know.
Tough question, that.
And
Maybe
I've
a
done-
future episode.
I've done Metroid. I did that.
Yeah. Did you do all of them? Or just did the 2D ones, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'd need to.
But that counts.
add in Metroid Prime
You did.
and all the hunters, including like the
Not the
hunters
side.
and all that fish.
No, just the mainline ones.
Yeah.
Zelda.
I've done-
I've often thought of doing Zelda as well.
That
'Cause
feels
I've
like
Never played the first 2, and there's loads of other ones I haven't played as well.
I've tried Zelda 2 on the Nintendo Switch Online. Just as yuck.
Yeah.
And what
And inscrutable.
is that game meant to be?
But you can
I have
rewind.
considered doing the first one. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, it's basically Breath of the Wild in 2D. So they say. Whoever they are. But yeah, that's cool, Alex. I'm really glad you found your thing with Yakuza.
That's just it. Definitely, I think is my thing. I'm sure I was saying that when we were talking about Infinite Wealth. There's just something about it, and it's so familiar to you as well when you go back there. Because I mean, apart from it going into Hawaii and like 8, it's basically all set in the same places all through the whole series. So it's familiar to you from the beginning.
I was actually listening to a podcast earlier when they were talking about Infinite Wealth, and they said the actual town that Kamurocho is based on has now got Sega vending machines where like you can buy T-shirts that say "Welcome to Kamurocho" and things like in that town that it's based on, and you can it's basically just become like a tourist spot for Yakuza fans.
That's
Which is
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool. So they're all like AAA games, basically, aren't they? That we've just covered. But I think we need to. I think it's 2025. We need to remember about cool games.
Cool
games.
Cool games that are under the radar, just cool hipster games. So let's go to the biggest hipster of all, Lewis.
Hi there.
Tell us, just tell us about a cool game, man. Just something cool.
I've been
maybe
playing
something off
Nintendo Switch Sports.
itch.io.
Yeah, I was. I think it's because you mentioned this website, and I'd seen it before, but I'd never actually been on to Itch before. In fact, you can go back maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and you're like, I think it's maybe on Itch. And I was like, I'm going to go and have a little look on that, see what I can see. And like on the main page, I stumbled across a free game called Conan Throwbrien. So this is a game where you are late night sensation Conan O'Brien. In the game, you are presented with some cards, Ben, and you need to set up a joke and deliver a punchline to impress the audience.
Wow.
And it's all to do with dice rolls. I can't. It's like it's been a couple of weeks since I played it, but it's just really weird. Like you'll get a choice of like, in fact, I could do it right now. I could open up Conan Throwbrien, and we could click to read the instructions. You are Conan Throwbrien. Objective: deliver the finest in comedy entertainment. Every turn, you choose a joke topic card and roll an initial d6 to play cards. You drag them onto the mic. Can you hear this?
I can't hear anything.
it.
I can hear some jaunty music. Some of the push. You're sort of scored out of 13. You're not allowed to go over 13. If you go over 13, the crowd basically get more. So let's get to the cards. Here we go. We can pick one. Conan Throwbrien. Hurry up. This better work.
I mean, I have to say, I did imagine this was going to be like a game with like Conan O'Brien's face on an American football. It was to see who like threw him the furthest or something.
Yeah. Or just you playing as someone called Conan who has to throw someone called Brian.
Yeah.
No. So it started out. We're on his talk show.
Yep.
You're scored in Nielsen ratings, which I think is very funny. So you look over the audience and prepare yourself to tell a joke about. Here we go. 5 cards here. The White House pets are getting their own email ad. ... Or celebrity endorsed answering machines. Or a new reality TV show. Survivor meets Jury D. That is, self-help books on CD. Which one do you want to pick?
Let's go with the first one, the White House.
The first
Pets.
one. White House pets are getting their own email address. Have you folks seen this? Even the White House pets are getting into the digital age. They've got their own email addresses now. This is Conan O'Brien speaking. And then we get to pick how the joke is told. So reference, self-deprecating, absurd, spicy, banter, or dark. Like for
Dark.
For the punchline.
Let's go dark to see how this turns out.
I think it's for the punchline. And in the darker corners of Capitol Hill, there's unnerving whispers. If a pet spills national secrets, well, let's just say their next walk might be their last. And there's a dice that was rolled there, and I got 11, and the audience will respond, and the audience roll a dice. And I think we've got to beat the audience.
Okay.
To be honest,
that was about the quality of American late night TV. That joke, to be fair, pretty accurate.
I got sparse laughter.
Yeah, that's accurate.
The last trail off, and they await your next move. So it's basically that over and over again.
Is it fun?
You can pass 10 minutes playing it, yeah.
And are you just playing it in your browser as well?
Yes.
Nice.
I wasn't expecting to play it live.
Well,
But there we go.
we've played
Live
worse
with
games.
Lewis.
Conan Throwbrien on itch. Speaking of itches.
Nice. Yeah, it's quite cool though. The different weird shit you can find on there. I've never actually browsed it and found something. I've always just heard of something and then gone to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, to be honest, I think this was during the Roller Coaster Tycoon Open RTC debacle.
Yes, the less said about that, the better.
Yeah.
So my cool game for this week is a game from Critical Reflex, publishers of mouthwashing.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually really similar.
Expression.
And Buckshot Roulette they published as well, which I think we've got in the family library, Alex, but I haven't played it yet. But this is called Arctic Eggs, and it is ridiculous. It is basically you're in some weird dystopian, I don't know, settlement in Antarctica or something like that, and all you're doing is you're walking around in first person, talking to people and having very odd, off the wall conversations full of non sequiturs and just utter nonsense. And now and again, one of them will say, "I want you to cook some eggs for me." So literally, your only thing you've got is a frying pan, and you have a chat, and someone will say, "Right, I like my eggs with a cigarette. I like the flavour it adds." So you're like frying an egg in this frying pan with a cigarette in it, and you have to fry the egg on both sides before the cigarette runs out, basically, whilst keeping both the cigarette and the egg in the pan. And then you do that, and they'll give you a bit of dialogue, and then you move on to the next person, and it just escalates from there. So like they'll go, it would be like bacon or sausages or a tin of sardines with your eggs. So you have to like wait until the tin's hot enough that it pops open. And then you have to flip the sardines out of the tin and cook them, all whilst keeping everything in the pan, which is quite tricky to handle. I don't know if, because I played it all on Steam Deck, I don't know if it's the best way to play it. It might be easier as a mouse game, possibly. But because using your left trigger to kind of steady the pan, and then your right stick to flip, basically. And it's just batshit crazy. It just escalates to sort of ridiculous proportions of what you expect it to do. And I looked in the menu, and I wasn't searching for difficulty settings, but I just saw them. And basically, the difficulty is standard is like a normal frying pan. Like normal is just a normal frying pan. Easy is a frying pan with like high sides,
Okay.
and a bit deeper, and then hard is like just purely flat frying pan, basically. And yeah, it's just very odd. Like every bit of dialogue is really just off the wall, and you want to talk to everyone because you just don't know what people are going to say, and then you get this funny little mini game that's quite frustrating at times, because you might be nearly having everything cooked, and then you do slightly too hard of a flip and everything just goes flying out, which is quite funny. So I've got these new headphones that switch on when it hears that you're talking. It switch on, like turns off the sound.
Oh yeah.
And the amount of time I had them on while playing it, and the amount of times I caught myself, and I wouldn't have realised it if I didn't have that feature on these headphones, but saying, "Oh my God," like that, and then the sound just cut out. And I did that at least 5 times playing this, I think. But yeah, I'm just trying to find, just to give you an example of the writing, I got an achievement here. And the achievement it's called "This is how I sit on the toilet." So this the achievement was basically just this guy, I think he was in prison, and I just had a conversation with him. He said, "I like to perch on the toilet like a bird," and then he was just talking about that. And then obviously from talking to him, I got this achievement, and the description is, "Hello, my name is Kevin, and this is not a joke. I sit on the toilet like this, always have. I know it's weird, but every time I use the toilet normally it feels wrong and takes more work. I think I've been doing this for so long that my body is just too used to it to go back. Please try it for yourself. Maybe we can make a change. Again, I am not joking." And that's the achievement description on Steam. It's just like, yeah, and that's the sort of humour that's in the game. But yeah, really brief. I think it took me like 2 or 3 hours to finish it, but it's a nice little, while I'm in that same thing that you mentioned earlier, Lewis, about being in your sort of nothing's really sticking. It's quite nice to play these little experiences, and and yeah, it's just quirky and very cheap, but yeah, one of like sleepers of 2024. Just a really fun way to pass a couple of hours.
And I see you've also put it as complete on GG.
I have indeed, yeah. updated that today with a few. I realised I hadn't put metaphor on there.
What's purple again? Is that just beaten?
Beaten, yeah. Yeah, I didn't 100% it. There's more people to serve than you need to finish the game, so you could 100% it and probably get a better ending. But yeah, really cool little one. Arctic eggs.
Looks cool.
Then the other cool one that Alex and I played co-op.
Yeah.
Take it away, Alex. Tell us about that one.
So this is, well, let's take a little trip over to Survivor's Corner. So, yes. Ben and I were both playing, Ben and I started playing Entropy Survivors, which is it's basically Survivors like you have all these different worlds and levels where you have to survive for a certain amount of time and then beat a boss. Where it's slightly different is it's almost like mech based. So you get a mech, it's like a little robot. It's not even a mech, it's a robot, but your robot is piloted by a frog. So your robot has like more of the kind of melee and stuff activities, and then your frogs kind of got your pistols and your it can hack some of the enemies, and so basically as you're leveling up, you can upgrade either your robot or your frog and pick different abilities for each of them. But I mean, it ultimately performs as your typical Survivors like game, although it's more not just like one big square level. It's more there's more obstacles to
bits of terrain and stuff in the way.
There's there's different obelisk type things that you can activate. They'll either bring you extra enemies or bring you extra bosses, or can upgrade your health. So it's a lot of fun. It looks very, very good. It's very pretty, runs really, really well. So we were playing it on PlayStation, but it's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And they've just done an update, which is why I noticed it. So there's extra quality of life improvements around auto attack. So which I don't think me and you noticed, Ben, but you can set it to attack both the robot and the frog, and you can switch between them being able to attack automatically rather than having to use the trigger button to fire for the frog.
Okay.
But I've become a little bit addicted to this.
Have you? Oh, so you've carried on playing it?
Oh yeah, I've completed all. So I've finished. So basically, you get I think 4 or 5 levels in each world, but it's the same level at different difficulties. So I've completed the first run through is each level or each world at the first difficulty, and then you have all your different. You can upgrade basically everything. You can upgrade your robot. You can upgrade your frog's abilities. You can upgrade all the individual upgrades. You can upgrade the weapons. You can upgrade your actual abilities. So there's all these different currencies and upgrade trees and everything that you collect. And each level will have different things that you can collect to make you go and try the different levels to get the different, basically little jewels or whatever it is you need to upgrade. Yeah. And then once you've done your first run through, it's about stepping up to the next difficulty and start your second run through the higher difficulty, on and on. So I've basically finished the 5 first levels, and I'm very, very much enjoying this.
That's good.
It does look really nice.
Yeah,
it looks better. And may I just say, sexy frog. It's got his tongue sticking out and everything.
It's weird. I didn't even notice the frogs at all. You sort of kept saying you can upgrade your
these things, are you?
Yeah. Because when we were playing it, you were like, "Oh, you can upgrade your frog or your robot." I'm like, I just felt like I was playing as one entity.
Yeah,
that had different abilities. I didn't pay any attention to what I was, but and to me, it felt more like a twin stick shooter than a Survivors in a way. I think the way I was playing it was as a twin stick shooter. So it's quite good that it gives you that option to. I guess you can play it as a pure Survivors and just use the left stick to move around and automate everything, but it's quite nice playing it
it has a little bit of that kind of best of both worlds type thing. You can find that nice sweet spot in the middle.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something, just looking at the art style. can't quite put my finger on.
I know what you mean. I thought the same thing.
No idea.
But yeah,
I did as well, and I can't think of what it was. But I feel like even particularly when you're in like the hub area before you start the levels, it really reminds me of something, and I can't quite put my finger on what.
Yeah, but no, it's got something about it. It's cool. I haven't heard much chat about it, but it's
No.
it seems like a very robust and good fun game.
If you like that type of game, I definitely recommend it. And I don't actually know how much it is, but I don't think these games don't tend to be too expensive.
Lucy,
£8.50
$8.50 on Steam.
on Steam.
How are the reviews looking on Steam, Lewis?
Let's double check here. Very positive. 182 of them. All looking very good. There is, of course, a few negative ones in there, but let's ignore them.
Let's ignore them. Yeah.
Someone gave it 20 out of 10.
Wow.
Literally the best twin stick shooter roguelike there is. No complaints. All I request is for the devs to keep on cooking and add as much content as possible because it's so much fun.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Let them cook.
Yeah, they continue. The power-ups and classes are so creative. Normally, I hate skill trees, but it works amazingly for this game. Lots of levels to play. And 4-player co-op? I mean, come on. 20 out of 10. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flames. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 500%.
They
Wow.
like it. Yeah.
And who?
I mean, it's
what's
probably
the,
worth mentioning. I was just going to say there, it's probably worth mentioning some of the upgrades and stuff because there was some they are quite cool. So you got one that's like giant hands that clap on the enemies, and then once it's like a giant foot that stands on them, like
That's
a
in the
bowling
video,
ball.
yeah, like
which
a trainer.
You need to hit the bowling ball to make it go faster, and then it goes through them. It's very creative in terms of a lot of the upgrades that you can get, or you get like a mind hacking one, which takes over some of the enemies to start fighting for you, stuff. So.
Yeah, I like that one. Very cool. Very cool.
Indeed.
Lads, shall we end this episode and start 2025 with a game of Guess the Outro. So you know the deal. I give you 3 clues. You have 10 questions in which to guess the outro of this very episode. Your first clue, if you choose to listen, is this game scored a 10 out of 10 on IGN.com.
IGN and their reviews could be anything. Could be absolute dog shit.
Again, the clues
The
in
only one I can remember
descending
being
gobshitiness.
the only one I can remember being a 10 out of 10 very recently is Asgard's Wrath 2. I can't imagine Ben picking that.
Maybe I didn't pick it.
Yeah, is it a submitted?
It is a submitted.
Submitted. Does this game, is the character name and title?
No.
Alex, do you want to do the honours?
Is this game a Metroidvania or an RPG or a platformer or a puzzle game or...
Oh, well, well.
Stop there. Stop there.
Metroidvania.
RPG. Platformer puzzle.
No.
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 None of them. 10 out of 10.
I was thinking Elden Ring. Because I think that was a 10 out of 10, wasn't it?
Good question.
Has this game released in the last decade? In the last 10 years, yeah.
Yes.
I think it must have done because IGN's used to do like really random scores, did they not? You'd be like
yes.
9.7 out of 10 and stuff, whereas now it's just
No.
like a 10-point scale.
Did I thought it still did?
No. It's 10 points now.
Wow.
Yes. Released in the last decade.
Is that an indie?
No, it's not an indie. Not an indie.
So what's a big 10 out of 10 then? In the last 10 years? What's your biggest game?
Breath of the Wild. I guess if it's a first party game, just generally. Is it a first party game, Ben?
Describe what you mean by that.
I mean, is it like a first party game?
Okay, give me an example of a first party game then.
Yeah, I mean like Breath of the Wild. So like a developer that may make a game specifically for
their own platform,
or like a particular platform. Well, for their own platform. I feel that's a very Nintendo thing, because when I think of PlayStation, I don't see them as the same. They've got first-party developers. Maybe I'm just overcomplicating it. They've got first-party developers, but they don't make their games. Whereas I consider Nintendo to make their own.
But they
games.
publish the games on their own platform. So when this game initially released, was it published on the on its own platform?
I forgot the question.
For example, would it be like the equivalent of a Sony studio publishing on PS5?
Yes.
Or Nintendo on Switch, or Microsoft on Xbox.
I mean, it's going to be completely irrelevant, probably. He's just like, you're spinning this out.
Okay, no.
I can do it.
It was not that. But what I will say is, this is your next clue.
That's 5 questions already.
Yep. It was a timed console exclusive.
Do you think it could have been up for Game of the Year one of these years, Alex?
I'm trying to think what else have given it a 10 out of 10. And other like kind of big ones. Because I was thinking something like IGN really loved Forza Horizon, but that doesn't fit that criteria. But the way Ben asked the question makes you think, is he trying to like twist it? Yeah, be a gobshite essentially. Because I mean, you had those random, like, see when Xbox bought Bethesda, you had those random, so you had Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop that were exclusive to PlayStation for like timed console exclusives before they came to Xbox. And I'm sure Deathloop got like a 10 out of 10 from IGN randomly. So that, and I could see them be that gobshitey that it was a console exclusive on the other console. So how would we narrow that down? What genre is like those games? Because Deathloop's not, is that a shooter?
Shooter, yeah.
Is that a shooter?
First person
Is that a shooter?
Yep, it is a shooter.
Deathloop may be a shout then. Did I get 10 out of surely not? 10 out of 10.
I think IGN did randomly give that a 10 out of 10. Because it was very highly rated.
Who made that? Is it Arcane? Is that what they're called?
Arcane, yeah. It's Arcane Leon.
Leon.
Published by Bethesda. But released on PlayStation.
That's a good question. Published. Could ask that. Is it published
by Bethesda?
Yes.
Ah, we got you.
Alex.
Is it Deathloop, Ben?
It is Deathloop.
Wow.
Was it nominated by Laurie or Phil?
It was Laurie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I actually switched the clues around because that was originally going to be your third clue, but because we were already on the topic of first party, I put it in there because we already I'd already confused you enough by by going, what
Well,
do
that
you
was
mean?
what kind of like
Yeah.
the way you were asking that question. It was very much like there must be something a bit odd here.
Well, yeah, because I could have just gone no. And then it wouldn't have
Technically,
given
it
you
was
any
a first-party
information.
game,
Yeah. But now it's
like,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was a good question to ask, Lewis. That prompted some
That's why I'm
thought on my part. And actually, what you were going to get as your second clue was just a musical clue, which was just going to be this. So count yourselves lucky, because I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure
would
that
have
would
never
have
got
helped
in
at
from
all. So yeah, there we go. Well done. Anyone played Deathloop here?
Yes,
Yes.
I have indeed.
Any good?
Not really.
Not 10 out of 10.
No.
That score
I
doesn't
own it on
exist.
PlayStation and
Same.
buy
Do you
it on
really?
disc. Like I think it's still sealed.
Well,
Same. Yeah, never touched it. Yeah, Laurie's a big fan of it, obviously.
yeah, his favourite game of all time is Cyberpunk. Same as Eno.
He's ahead of his time, though. I think more people will follow suit eventually. He's a radical thinker. But yeah, it does look like a cool game, but it's just one of those where maybe see if we stick out Indiana Jones, maybe that will inspire us to play a proper immersive sim like this.
Yeah.
Looks cool, but yeah, not when I'm in a great rush to play. But hey, soundtrack's good. That's the main thing. That's all that counts
That's all
here.
that matters.
And congratulations, starting the year off with a win, because it was a
Alex
shaky
again.
end to 2024.
Alex bringing the goods once more.
It was a team effort though, because your awkwardly phrased question did prompt the discussion. So
I'm here to be awkward.
but anyway, this is Welcome to Black Reef, which is like the main theme from Deathloop.